This is the Mockingbird single double stroller, and we've been using it almost every single day for the last 4 months. If you're in the market for a double stroller, you're honestly not gonna find one with these features at this price point. So in this video, we're gonna be going over everything this stroller has to offer, so let's jump in. So before we jump in, I do want to get a few things out of the way. Mockingbird did send us this stroller, but my review is completely my opinion. We actually owned the original single Mockingbird when we had our first child, and then they came out with this double stroller. So after we had our second child, we were looking for a single to double stroller. It was between this stroller and pretty much the Bob side by side. So at this point in time, this stroller's probably been out for over a year now, and I would assume that if you found this video, you might not even be aware that they actually made a single stroller before they even created the single to double stroller. So that's why in this video, we're gonna be going over every single feature that this stroller has to offer so that you understand everything. If there's anything you already know, you can just hop to the different chapters that I have outlined in this video. And if you stick around to the end, we're gonna be comparing it to the super popular Uppa Baby Vista. So let's start with the frame. The frame is made of an aluminum construction and is relatively lightweight and super strong. I don't know the exact weight of it, but neither my wife nor I have any problem getting it in and out of the car once it's broken down. Moving on to the handle. The handle is a super comfortable leather wrapped grip, and it has 6 different positions that you can adjust with just the click of the button. So next we have the wheels, and the wheels are made of rubber, so they're a no flat tire, which I really appreciate because in the area that I live in, we have these things called goat heads, and they have popped many of our tubed tires, and these ones have actually collected a ton of goat heads, and of course we're perfectly fine. The front wheels here have a locking mechanism, which I didn't really use on the single stroller, but I really like it on this double stroller. When we first got this double stroller, I actually disliked pushing it around. And the reason is because, a lot of the curbs or the roads are sloped, for irrigation. And so I just found that it was too much of a workout to try and keep this stroller going in a straight line. After a few times, I realized, well, why don't I just lock out the 2 front wheels? And sure enough, that made everything much better. Even with the wheels locked out, you can still turn the stroller and you can get around most turns. And if you really do need to make a tight 90-degree turn, it's super easy just to lift it up, rotate it on the front wheels, no problem. So the front and back wheels both have some suspension, and the back wheels are a little bit oversized, so you will have no problem taking this thing off-road. So next up we have the basket, and it is absolutely huge. From what I've been able to determine, it's actually one of the biggest baskets on a stroller that you can get. If you're planning on using this stroller for grocery shopping, then you will have no problem doing a full grocery shop. First time I took it grocery shopping, I thought I was gonna have to do a basic, only essentials shop, but I didn't. I did, $150 shop, and I was able to fit, I think it was either 3 or 4 Trader Joe's, paper bags underneath there. So next, let's talk about the stroller and how it comes as you buy it, because it actually doesn't come with these 2 seats and the 2 adapters. It actually comes like this. It comes with just the 1 seat and the stroller. So let's start with the canopy. The canopy has been redesigned since the original stroller, and I absolutely love it. So with the original stroller, it was about that size, and so the sun would always come in and hit your baby. However, with customer feedback, they decided to actually make it bigger, so now it goes all the way down, and honestly, the sun never gets under there. So I really love that. However, if you have an almost 2-year-old like we do, then they're probably always gonna pull it back like ours does. Something that I will mention is that if you don't have the canopy fully taut, then it is a little floppy. Honestly, I thought that was gonna be a problem because the original one didn't have this feature at all. Hasn't been a problem whatsoever. I feel totally comfortable and don't even think twice about using the canopy. Next, we have this peekaboo window, which with the seat facing forward has no purpose. Next, the canopy is also high contrast underneath for your newborns, since they can only see high contrast colors. Next, the stroller actually comes with a bumper bar, which is useful for some things, but I will say for older children, I would highly recommend switching it out to a snack tray. Now the seat also does come with a sunshade, and I thought it was really awesome when we first got it on the original stroller because it has these cool magnets that are almost invisible, and you can place it over and you can pull it over, and it seems really cool, but in the end, we never use it, and we actually hate it. And it's not that we don't use a sunshade, because we do use a sunshade, we just choose not to use that one. We choose to use a more light blanket that is actually much bigger, and here's the reason why. We don't want to totally enclose our baby in there. So when we want to block the sun, we actually only want to block part of the stroller, and we want to keep opening whichever side the sun's coming to. So next, let's talk about the second seat kit that I'm just going to assume you're probably going to end up buying. So this is it. When you get the second seat kit, you're obviously going to get the second seat, but you're also going to get these adapters. So let's talk about the adapters first. When they first sent me this stroller, they sent me different adapters. The top ones have changed. The top ones have put the top seat closer to the handle, which has allowed for more configurations for this front seat. So next, let's talk about configurations. And if you want to see all the different types of configurations that you can do, I'm going to direct you to Mockingbird's website, because I'm really only going to be talking about the configurations that I utilize with a newborn and a toddler. So let me show you those. Now, this is one of two of our most used configurations, which is the carriage facing backward and the front seat facing forward. But I will say that this is not an approved Mockingbird configuration, and that is because the two seats touch right here. If you had the front seat faced around towards the back, then that would be approved by Mockingbird. Now, this is the configuration that I would use just walking around the neighborhood, but this is the configuration that I would use if we're running errands or going to the grocery store or even going to a restaurant. Now, what we have here is the car seat adapter with our Kiko KeyFit 30 car seat and the front seat facing forward. We have the proper spacing here, so this is an approved Mockingbird configuration. And the thing I love about this is obviously I can take this car seat out of the car and straight into the stroller. The baby could be sleeping, and now we're in the grocery store. I just absolutely love it. I probably use it more often than not. So the last thing I want to touch on regarding features is just how this thing handles. And coming from a single stroller onto this double stroller, I felt like this thing was a boat. But I don't think any double stroller wouldn't feel super heavy if you're used to only carrying one kid. I will say that different configurations handle better than others. And once I learned how to walk out the wheels, it handled much smoother. With the rubber wheels, it rolls super smooth. When the front wheels are unlocked, it turns on a dime. When they're locked, you don't have to steer it very much. So honestly, this thing handles exactly as I would expect it, and I love using it on a daily basis. So next, let's talk about the options that you have for your newborn. Mockingbird has 3 different options for you to choose from, which are the car seat adapter that just works with your car seat. They have the newborn insert that works with their seat, and then they have their carriage. Now, all of them have their pros and cons, and we'll go over that right now. So the first option that we have is the car seat adapter, which is actually the option that we went with our single stroller, and it's still the option that I would choose if I only had one thing to buy. And the reason is because it costs about $45, and you're gonna buy a car seat anyways, so you just couple them together and you're good to go, as opposed to the newborn insert, where you buy the newborn insert, which I think is $35, you still have to buy a car seat, and now you're still transferring your baby, and they might be sleeping. It just doesn't make as much sense to me as just utilizing the car seat, especially because they're still in the same seating positions. Now, we tried the newborn insert, and my wife wasn't very happy with the position that our baby was in once they're in the seat. That's not to say that it's not approved and it's not, good to go. It's just not something that we felt comfortable with. So for those reasons, we didn't go with it. So finally, we have the carriage or the bassinet. Now, this thing costs $110, so it is definitely a hefty added cost to the cost of the stroller. And we didn't get it for our firstborn, but I will say with everything that we know now, we'd probably buy it again if we had to. So as you may know, it is better for your baby to lay flat than to be in a car seat long term. So if you're planning on going for long walks or just for them to be in it longer than, let's say an hour or two, then it's better for you to be utilizing a bassinet. It has the high contrast inside, just like the other seats, so that is nice. It has the peekaboo window, just like the seats, so that can be nice, but the bassinet's always facing this way, so I guess that doesn't really make any sense. It's also very warm inside, so if you're using it during the warmer months, I kind of wish there was a little breeze window maybe on the side, but there isn't. Now we're in the winter months, so having that extra warmth is actually really nice. This whole little foot area just zips away, and we easily just put a blanket over our newborn, and it keeps them extra warm in these warmer months. So next, let's talk about the accessories. So first, we have the snack tray. Now, if you have a toddler and they're eating snacks, then absolutely a snack tray is a necessity. It's got a cup holder and it's got an area for all the snacks. There's not much more to say, because maybe you need to feed your newborn while you're at the park. You lock your toddler up, and now you're able to feed your newborn. It's a win-win for all. The next accessory we have is a cup holder. Now, you could buy a cheaper cup holder from many third-party options, but this cup holder from Mockingbird is actually kind of cool because it fits onto a very specific area of the car seat. and then once it's snapped into place, it fits perfectly. So the final accessory that I think is a must-have is this parent organizer. Now, we didn't have one on our original Mockingbird, but now with this, I couldn't even see living without it. It just has a nice place for all of our things, whether it's keys, wallet, snacks, cell phone, sunglasses, and it just snaps on super easily. So next, let's talk about breaking the stroller down and getting it into your car. Now, I don't know how it'll fit into compact cars with a standard trunk size, but if you have an SUV, then it'll fit no problem. Now, in this example, we're gonna be talking about the configuration with the car seat up top. So obviously the car seat would be in the car. Next, I would just take the front seat off and put it to the side for now. Then you can keep the car seat adapter on the stroller and just drop it down. And now you can put that in your car. It stands right up for me. Then I take the front seat and I flip it upside down, and it fits like a little Tetris piece right over the stroller. And now I have all this extra room for groceries or bikes or anything that I might need. Now, if I'm taking the carriage with me, it's pretty much the same, but it's a little bit different. I would obviously take off the car seat adapter, and the seat actually fits better without the adapter on it. And then I have the carriage, which the canopy just drops down with these two buttons and locks into place. And then the bottom of the carriage actually sucks up into the carriage itself. And then I just put it off to the side. Obviously it takes up more space, but I still have room for other things. So this stroller was honestly designed to be your daily driver to and from your house, to go on errands, to go to the grocery store. But if you're planning to take it through TSA, it's totally doable. We've taken our single stroller through TSA. We've now taken our single to double stroller through TSA. And there are some risks involved, but we're planning on doing it again. So let's go over that. When we went through TSA, we used our car seat and our car seat adapter because the destination that we're going to, we're gonna need our car seat. Now, when you go through TSA itself, they're gonna have you break down the entire stroller, and that's why having the wheels pop off is very essential, because you're gonna need to go through the X-ray machine, and this thing doesn't fit through the X-ray machine. So you actually need to take off the wheels. I actually took off the adapters. Obviously you have to take off the seat, but eventually it'll all get through, and then it can easily be put right back together, no problem. So once you get through TSA, your next hurdle is going to be getting it packaged up and down to the end of the jetway while probably holding one of your children. Now, it's totally doable to break it down and put it in the original bag. You can buy other carrying bags. Those cost a lot of money, so we just chose to go with the storage bag that they sent us. It does have to be packaged in such a way that, you know, it's kind of like Jenga to make it really fit and everything, but it does work. Now, the risk that is involved with this entire thing is that even though we did everything that I felt was perfect, we even double bagged it, it still got completely messed up. Our handle got completely messed up. We left it at the end of the jetway, and somehow between the jetway and the plane, it just looks like it got completely dragged by the end of a golf cart, but who actually knows? Now, I want to wrap this all up by comparing this stroller to its competition, which is the Uppa Baby Vista, which is an interesting stroller because it comes kind of packaged weirdly and it's super expensive. So the Uppa Baby Vista comes with the stroller, the bassinet, the seat, a rain shield, and a storage bag for $1,000, $999. You buy the second seat attachment for $200, coming out to, let's call it $1,200. Now for the Mockingbird, you can buy it more pieced out if that works for you. So you buy the single stroller for $395. Then you buy the second seat attachment for $120, which includes the attachment, of course, and the second seat. You buy the car seat adapter if you want it for $45. Now, all that will get you by with two kids for $560. Compare that to the $1,200. Now, if you want to compare it actually to the Uppa Baby Vista that comes with the bassinet, even though you might not even want it. Well, if you want the bassinet, you can buy it from Mockingbird for $110. Now your total comes out to $670. Compared to that, to their $1,200 price point, that is almost half the cost of the competition. So if you're pregnant with one and looking to have two, or if you're pregnant with twins, or if you already have a child and you only have a single stroller, or you don't like that stroller and you're looking for a double stroller, then the Mockingbird single to double stroller is definitely something you need to consider. At this price point, there isn't another stroller on the market that can beat it. Thanks for watching this review, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.